Hello, everyone. Welcome. It's wonderful to be together. Tuesday, Women Together Connect. My name is Antoinette, and I am our host with a wonderful team here. So, just putting it on gallery view in Zoom, I'm saying a little hello personally, but I see the hellos coming in the chat. So you can say hello in the chat in Zoom or in the comment section in YouTube and just welcome each other here. So I see a hello from Bloomfield, Connecticut, suburban Philadelphia, sunny Southeast Florida. Sometimes we share the weather. If you haven't been here many times before, we share a little bit about where we are, what our land is in this particular place and space, but we also look at the inner weather throughout our time together. So it's sometimes nice to just look out for a little bit before we look in. Sorry, I keep feeling like I'm going to sneeze. Speaking of looking out, allergy season here in New York. So my apologies if I'm a little allergy ridden today, but it's wonderful to have this springtime moment. New York City, Brattleboro, Vermont, Arlington, Mass, Great Barrington, Mass, welcome. Northwest Connecticut, and Gray, Germany. What else? I've had some sunny days in Germany too, so just a few, exactly. Good. So wonderful, good to be together, and really, just lovely to reconnect with each other and to take a moment to land in this connection in this space of just taking a break, taking a little breath between whatever else is going on, just one little moment in the week to land together. And I find myself more and more just trying to find ways to protect this time as things get busy, as things get hectic, as we see people coming together and gathering in all these different ways. A lot of back to in-person kind of feeling. There's also this need to remind ourselves to slow down and remind ourselves to check in, because often this check-in time, this space, is what allows us to keep moving forward from a grounded place. So that's really a little bit of what we do here in these weeks of Women Together Connect in this time. This 1 hour we have together on Tuesdays, and we also have our Women Together circles. We're very excited to have Dorian Baroni leading a 6-week circle. So we're looking forward to that. And these connect spaces are an invitation to go a little bit deeper in ourselves and in our connection with each other. So that is the invitation. Again, apologies for my allergies, but I'm very much glad to be here with you all. So let's just take a little moment to settle and land. We do tiny practices, and these are just little moments where we can land in our own bodies, in our own place, in our own space. So I just invite you to take a seat wherever you are and just feel a sense of connection to the land. So if you can feel your feet on the floor, that can be a good place to start, or even just your seat, just feeling into the felt sense of connection. And on your inhale, perhaps feeling a deepening of that connection. So perhaps feeling through the ground to the earth. And on every inhale, feeling a sense of deepening, of rooting down. And then on the exhale, feeling a sense of rising up. So feeling a sense of uplift in the spine, and uplift, feeling even a sense of connection at the top of the head to the sky. Feeling just a little bit of a connection from the top of the head to this space of expanse and possibility. And just following the breath for a moment here together. When you're ready, just reconnect with the screen. And perhaps if you're not on video yet, you can bring yourself onto video and just feel a sense of welcome for yourself. Just welcoming your full self here, not just the eyes and the ears and the head space, but really welcoming the heart into this space, welcoming the body into this connection. And one way we can do that is by inviting a seeing. So if you can go on video, now is the time, and just inviting a seeing of ourselves and each other, and kind of a seeing of our larger, what we call a social field. So a larger field of this connection where we can start to see the thread of the connection in our group here. So if you can go on video, you can go on gallery in the Zoom top right corner, click view, click gallery, and then just taking in the vision of this wonderful group. And one of the practices would be to make almost like as if the pores of your skin were little eyes that you could see and allow yourselves to be seen. And just feeling our group here, letting ourselves be seen, letting ourselves to feel each other and be felt. And then just noticing the welcome that we extend to ourselves, if that welcome extends here, to not just the minds of these others that we see here today, but to every part, not just this one story of today, but to all of the parts, just welcoming all of us here. And I'd love to hear if you have an intention for today. So thank you for this moment of just seeing and feeling. And then if you have an intention for today, just a little, what brought you here? What brought you here into this connection? For those of you who may not have been here before, we are just in our early phase of our hour here. And then we'll move into just a little talk and some tiny practices. You might want to grab a journal and a pen. And then we will practice with each other. So practice this inner connection and then practice this connection with each other. And just noticing what it feels like to be in connection with ourselves, to be in a deeper connection with each other. And then we move on with our day and our week. And then we come back together next week. We have a wonderful teacher joining us. So that is the plan for today, for this week. And then we will just share, but I'd love to hear a little bit of in the chat, if you'd like to type in what brought you here today. And I'll read a few of them out. I see together for a time, to be in warmth, holding and being held by kindred spirits. Strengthening the action connection to heart sense. My weekly nourishment for being a complex woman supporting other complex women. Wonderful. There are so many good reasons to be here, listening and learning, connection, interaction with other women. Wonderful. So today we're focusing in on following the heart and connecting in with following the heart. And then I was thinking this week a little bit about this topic, and it's something, it's I have been a big follower of the heart. And, sometimes that's been really great. And sometimes being in a world that is not so led by heart, it is painful and it is hard. Um, and then the other, piece that I was considering with this is following the heart requires tending to the heart and really giving ourselves a sense of valuing the heart and valuing our own worth. So I thought maybe we would start with that. And in the caring and tending for the heart, we start to see what it is we need to follow. So what allows us to follow the heart isn't just a kind of blind, unconscious following of a brokenness, which I think for me, I follow this brokenheartedness, and I feel this sense of brokenheartedness, and then I go and I try to heal the world, and that can mean a lot of things. For me, it's meant like big programs to heal the world, but there's also this very sort of even just healing the people around us, that it's our own brokenness that is driving us to take care of everyone else. And so I thought if we just sit with this tending to our own heart space and caring a little bit for ourselves and maybe our own valuing ourselves, we call it self worth, but valuing ourselves a little bit, that the way that we follow our heart could be a little bit more full and a little bit more healing for ourselves and not just for everyone around us. So that's my own little journey into today's topic. Um, and following the heart, I think, so many of us do it, especially as women, or, um, how we identify, but, thinking about um, how is it that we're following the heart? Does it feel whole and healthy? Does it feel um, like something that's accepted in the world? Does it feel like something hard or painful? So just noticing that and being with it. And I'd like to just invite us. I did in our just now little moment of stillness, I did a little connection to the earth and to the sky. But there's also this space around the heart. And so I'd like to invite us to sit for a bit with this space around the heart and just notice what the feeling is. So we'll do that for a few moments. And then we will do a little journaling around this experience that you may have with valuing yourself and valuing your own heart connection. So if you do have a paper and pen, now might be a good time to grab it. And if you don't, if you do have a paper and pen nearby, just keep it there. If you don't have a paper and pen, now might be a good time. And then we will just do this little meditation, a little journaling, and then we will turn to each other and share. So I hope that you have the space for it and that I've talked enough to let you get your journal and pen. All right. So I'd like to just invite you to get nice and comfortable before we do any journaling, just sitting with this space around the heart for a moment. So wherever you may be, just finding a comfortable space to land, maybe closing your eyes for this one, or at least lowering or softening your gaze. And again, just tune back into that sense of uplift and the sense of the downward connection to earth. And as you feel the breath, the inhale moving up and down the body on the inhale, up, maybe up the spine on the exhale. Down again on the inhale, up again on the exhale. Almost like there's a little golden ball that's on a thread that as you inhale, the golden ball moves down. And on the exhale, it moves up. And just continuing to follow that little golden ball. And on the next exhale, I'd like you to just pause the little golden ball, pause the awareness and attention on the space around the heart. And just noticing the heart is a space of feeling. The mind tends to be a space of words. The heart is a space of feeling. And so just noticing if there are any feelings that arise sort of in that immediate awareness around the heart. Just as you give awareness and attention to this space, to the feeling quality. Perhaps there's something immediate. Maybe it's an immediate joy or an immediate pain or sadness. And just being with whatever comes up. And if, as you spend this time and attention and you're not aware of a feeling, just noticing if there's numbness. Often, so much of what the way that we live in this world is to numb this space. And so the first thing that may come up is not even having access. So if that's where you are, that's okay. Just welcoming in the numbness as a feeling, welcoming in the numbness and being with that. Then perhaps inviting a tenderness or a care for the heart, for this feeling space. And perhaps just sending a bit of compassion, a bit of care to our own heart. You can even put a hand on the heart if that's comfortable for you. Maybe just a little wish, often used in the metta compassion meditation. Just sending a wish to your own heart, to your own heart. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be free from suffering. Noticing if there is someone else that comes to mind, and just noticing often our heart spends so much time caring about others, about the world, about something else going on, but just maybe one person you can call to mind who has also cared for your own heart. Maybe somebody who has passed on, or someone who you look at and they care so much and you can see it in their eyes, and just calling them to mind. Just sending them a simple wish. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be free from suffering. And then letting them in your mind's eye, letting them bless your own heart. So letting them look at, maybe even allowing in your mind's eye their hand to touch your heart, and for them to wish for you. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be free from suffering. Just allowing yourself to feel, maybe letting the hand go if you have put your hand there. Just noticing if there's any new motion, emotion, or if the heart could speak, if the heart is speaking to you, what it might be saying now. And again, the heart doesn't often have words, so it might just be a feeling quality, and that is okay. But if you take a pen and paper, look at your journal, if there is a message that came up or just a noticing or an insight, you could write that down now. And then maybe considering for a moment, when is it that I turn towards the heart? When is it that I listen to my heart? Are there key moments, perhaps with children or with pets, or there's moments that it's easier to kind of listen to the heart? And so, when are the moments in your life or the moments in your day to day when you notice that you have this connection or tenderness or care? You can feel the sense of connection to the heart, or your feeling space. And then noticing, when is it that I turn away? When are the moments where my heart says something, my mind says, gotta go do this thing next, or, whatever it is, but the mind or something else has you turning away? And just jotting down any thoughts that you have about that. When are the moments that I turn away from the heart? And then just noticing if you have any practices to reconnect to the heart. Maybe you already have a really strong compassion practice, or you have um, other practices that you do, physical practices, but anything that you do that allows you to reconnect with the heart. So just noticing if you have something that you do. I always like to have something tangible. So, maybe it's picking up a rose quartz or wearing a rose quartz or something, that connects you to the heart. Everyone has different practices. So just noticing what works for you, if anything, already. And you can write that down. And then when you're ready, you can look up at the screen, give me a little smile, say to collect my smiles for the day. And then wonderful. This is the fun part for me. No. And then we will go into connection with each other. And we will share with each other. So this is the part where the magic happens. So you get to introduce yourself, share where you're coming from, and share a little bit of just what came up for you around the heart, either in the meditation or the journaling. You don't need to share everything. You don't need to read line by line, but just really listening to each other. And often we've talked about this phrase of listening her to her greatness. So this experience of listening someone to their own potential, listening to somebody at a place that is not only where they are right now, but also seeing the fullness of this being. So, like I said, say pretty much every week is we don't know what the other person had for breakfast, let alone their life journey and their experience. So, the invitation is with what comes up and to listen to each other at this place of highest possibility. So we'll have about 20 minutes in the breakouts, and then we'll spend a few minutes closing here together. Enjoy the time together, and we'll see you back in 20 minutes.